Hey, what's up, guys? I haven't gone live in a few days, so I wanted to come on here and talk about some baseball. I'm working on getting NFL back up and running. So, if you give me about a day, I'll be back with some NFL stuff. I looked through the college stuff. There was two games that were decent, but overall, they were like extremely too much of a favorite. So I stayed away from college today. We do have some props in there, but the games themselves, I kind of stayed away from them. So let me get started here. Sorry, I'm a little bit off of. Here we go. Give me 1 second here. Let me just get set up. Sorry about that. I haven't come on live for a few days, so I'm a little rusty. Let me just get set up real quick. I appreciate you guys that are here. So I'm going to give you guys a quick breakdown of what happened yesterday. It was a 7-1 massive day. We only had one loss, which was the Texas Rangers, and they only lost. They actually went to the extra innings. I think in the 13th, in the 13th inning, they ended up losing. But anyways, it was a great day. Besides the Texas Rangers, but check it out. We had stolen bases. These stolen bases have been hitting at an 80% clip. And they're 2 to 3 leg parlays, which is ridiculous to hit that high of a clip, especially with 2 to 3 legs. So I'm just going to kind of show you real quick. Look at that. That's a 3 leg. That's another 3 leg. And then I had the Mets straight up. I gave this one away for free yesterday. They ended up winning. So it was a 1-1 record for the free picks, which was the Rangers that I gave away and the Mets. I explained all that in yesterday's video. And then we had Sonny Gray to 4.5 strikeouts. He ended up hitting passing yards for NCAA and then Tulsa NCAA as well. And again, that's some other football stuff there. I'm sorry, some stolen bases. So anyways, I actually raised my unit size. You can see right here, I went from $75 to $100. I was all the way up to $500 at one point. And then I was a little unfocused, so I had to bring it all the way down to 75 just to kind of get a handle on things. But the way that I'm not just throwing random numbers out there, like the reason I brought it back up to $100 is because we were winning. And when you're winning and you're making money, then you have to get your total bankroll. I made a whole video on it, but basically if you want to do your entire bankroll across all your books, and whatever that number is, you get 3% of that, and that should be if you're aggressive, it's 3%, and that's how you do it. Hey, what's up, King? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you being here. Long time no see. I've been making videos, but I just have been doing lives. So I had my computer crashed, and I was like 4 days without a main computer. So I was working on that for a long time, and then I'm working on my NFL stuff, so for the scrapers and stuff like that. So I've kind of just taken a little bit of away from lives because, like I said, it was computer issues and stuff like that. So appreciate you guys that are here. I'm gonna share 2 plays, and then I'm gonna share 2 plays with you guys. And one of them, it's a little bit questionable, so I'm just gonna kind of throw it out there, but you want to be careful with that one. But I'll explain what it is. So you can see right here, I threw these out this morning. There's 10 plays right here. There's one right here for baseball, another one which I'm going to share. I'm going to share both of these 2 first ones. And then I had 4 batter props and then 3 under stolen bases. These are all inside the VIP. If you want to check that out, go to the link in the description and click on VIP. We're also throwing out a bunch of plays inside of Discord. It's a 9-day winning streak inside of the Discord. So if you guys want to check that out. So are the scrapers in the sharp edge too. The scrapers pull the information and then they go into the sharp edge. So the scrapers are put into the data fields for what do you call it, for the sharp edge. All right, so let's get started. Here's the sharp edge right here. First thing I look at is the sharp plays. These are not final plays. These are just leans. As you can see, it clearly says these are leans. And it tells you the teams to look at. The Yankees, it gives you all the reasoning right there. Athletics, the Dodgers, and the Guardians. So this is just a good starting point from where we're looking at. And Julio was asking if there's any college football games. There was 2 games I was looking at, but I'm going to stay away. The spreads are ridiculous. It was, I believe, the what the hell were their names? I don't have it written down. It's like two of the ridiculous spreads. One of them was like a minus 21.5. The other one was like a minus 45.5. So there was no value there. I do have two quarterbacks that we're looking at, so I can share that. If you remind me in a little bit after I talk about baseball, I can give you those two quarterbacks that we're looking at. All right, so let's get started here. So I'm going to share 2 plays with you. The first one is going to be, I'm going to look at the Yankees real quick. You can see right here, it says massive pitching advantage. Rondon is 3.11 ERA versus Sugano 4.39. MLB's best offense of almost 6 runs per game, and then they're against the Orioles, which are struggling. The Yankees are 11-1 in the last 12 games, and they're going against Orioles, which had a bad loss on the road. They're cold. They've been losing 8 out of the last 9 games. So I'm looking at the Yankees very heavily today. The only thing I don't like is that it went to 196 and it went to 190. So it actually dropped in the favor of. Let me see something here because I'm on Twitter, but I don't see any comments over there. So I want to just make sure. I've never been able to reply to the comments on Twitter. So if anybody's over there, if you can comment, I want to see if this works. If you're on Twitter, you should be coming to YouTube. This is where I post all my videos and stuff like that. So if you want to come over to YouTube, Beast Sports Picks. All right. So anyways, we dropped over. The Yankees dropped from 196 to a 190. So they're still heavily favored, but it did drop in the favor of Orioles. So I've explained this many times, but I'll say it again, is that if a team is certain, when they get to a certain point in the odds, and then sometimes it actually pushes back, even though the team is decent, especially when it hits right around minus 200, the books and everything like that, people start taking the risk on the other side. So when they take the risk on the other side, that pushes the line the other way. So even though it's heavily juiced, it gets to a certain point where they're like, okay, we're going to take the risk on the other side. So even though the line is shifting in the wrong direction, it's not by much, and the line is already heavily juiced on one side. So anyways, that's sharp money coming in. 81% of the bets is coming in on the Yankees. 78% of the money is coming in on the Yankees. I already explained the pitching stuff right here. It's a mismatch for Rondon versus Sugano. And then you got the bullpen is a little bit better, not crazy. And then just look at these numbers, 247 versus 216. Like I mentioned, almost 6 runs versus 3 runs. OPS is, I think they're top 5 or top 10 versus the bottom 5 right here. So it's a big mismatch on the OPS. And what that means is that the on-base percentage is that the Yankees are getting on base way more than the Orioles. If you guys like this sort of information, make sure you subscribe, guys. Check out the link in the description. It says free picks, and that way you can get the free picks when we throw them out. All right. Now, pitching, you can see it's better, 2.91 ERA versus 3.29. So the ERA is better. And you also got the projections here. Overall, you can just see the green right here. You can look at every single one of these details if you want. I don't normally look at every single detail. I just look at the green and the red over here. So it's a lot of green on this side. 62% chance that the Yankees will win this game. And that takes everything into consideration. Just like I said, the sharp edge consensus, 62%. And then Baltimore is supposed to be batting in the 9th. I'm not sure why this didn't show up right here. But it does say that Baltimore should be batting in the 9th. And what that means is that they will be losing the game. And you can see they should be losing the game in the 9th. What that means is they should be losing. And then you got all this green on the left compared to Baltimore, all red on the right. So again, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS. They outnumber these guys in every single metric. Plus, better pitching. They got 16 and 5 run, 76%. And they got a better bullpen. So I'm taking the Yankees. And then I'm also going to show you the other game. It's going to be this one here. I'm sorry, that's not the one. Where's this? Where the hell is this? Give me a second. So the other one, this is going to be a very tight one. It's not a big mismatch, just like the ones that I showed you. So what's up, Ari, man? Appreciate you. So this one is a little bit, it's not as lopsided as the other one. So you want to be careful with this one. The line did open at a 110, and now it's at 108. 72% of the bets coming in on Oakland. 64% of the money's coming in on Oakland. I don't have any data here for the pitcher, but I already did look it up in other books and stuff like that, and the pitching is better. Pittsburgh does have better pitching overall, but the starting pitching is better for Oakland today. And then you have, like I said, it's kind of tight. You can see right here, batting average is 24.24. This is 0.91. So the Pittsburgh is struggling big time. Runs per game is higher. OPS is better. So in this one, I will tell you, Oakland, I think it's top 15, and Pittsburgh is bottom 15, or bottom 5, I should say. So ERA, the pitching is better for Pittsburgh. So it's a little bit of a lopsided game. Not a lopsided game. It's going to be a very tight game. That's why the odds are where they're at. So be careful with this one. I am taking Oakland. I am taking it at a full unit. They should be winning this game, but it's a little bit of a risk. So I'm high risk tolerant, and I've been winning. So I'm going to take the risk on this one. I do feel that Oakland, with the better batting and the better starting pitching. Now that I think about it, I should have went with the first 5 innings instead of the money line, but it is what it is. I'm leaving it at the money line. If you haven't done it, if you're just looking at this, you might want to look at the first 5 innings instead of the full game. But anyways, I'm taking Oakland. I'm taking the Yankees. And then I'm going to show you guys, let's see. I'm going to show you guys some batter props for being here. Appreciate you guys being here on a Saturday. Let me pull something up here. All right, let's see. All right, so the first one I'm going to look at is to get 1 hit. Alex Bregman, he's been very decent. You can see his odds right here. So you can see that's what is that, 80% hit rate overall in the last 10. Let's go down here. He comes up to bat between 4 and 5 times. He's faced his pitcher here 7 times. He's gotten 3 hits. That's an average of 4.29. Let me kind of zoom in so you can see what the hell I'm looking at. He's hit this 8 out of the last 10 games. Like I said, seven at bats, 3 hits. That's an average of 4.29. What else? I did look at this graph where it shows the pitcher on where he's throwing and the areas that he throws, and this guy tends to hit. So it's an overall picture. It's not just like this little section here. It's the overall picture of this guy where he throws. This guy tends to hit. So this one looks very good. I've already put the money in for that. And then let me give you one more. Let's see. Give me a second here. All right, so the next one is going to be Luis Arias. You can see he's hit this 8 straight games already. He's gotten at least 1 hit in 8 straight games, 4 to 5 times at bat. Average is 4. He's hit this 8 out of the last 9 games, and there is no data versus this pitcher. But this pitcher is somewhat decent, not crazy. And then this guy can get a hit pretty much anywhere. Just look at this graph. This guy pretty much gets a hit anywhere. Anytime this guy comes up, in the stats for me to place it, I look at everything. But overall, this guy has been very, very solid for like 4 years straight. He's one of the best. I don't know if he's underrated or not, but he's very, very good. So Luis Arias to get 1 hit, and then Alex Bregman. So I appreciate that, guys. I appreciate you being here. I'm gonna hook you guys up with, like I said, if one major thing, some people don't know what this is, but they don't pay attention or they just don't know. But basically, you want to look at all your books, log into every one of your books. If you have just one book, it's easy. But let's just say you had $1,000 in there or whatever it was, and then you do a 3% of that is aggressive, 2% is somewhat normal, and then 1% is low. So what you want to do is you want to grab your total bankroll with whatever you have in the books across all your books, and then I'm doing 3% because I'm aggressive. So that way, if I ever have a huge losing day, let's just say I lost every single one of my bets, I would only lose, like, let's say five units or 10 units or whatever it is. I'm not going to lose my entire bankroll ever on one day because I'm not placing random ass bets. I'm placing it very specifically on my unit size. So because my bankroll has been going up and up and up, now I had to raise my unit size because now across all my books, I have more money in there. So now it's worth pursuing a higher unit size, if that makes sense. Wait, bro. What does this say? Wait, bro. I fuck with you because all the picks are solid every day. You do this shit for sure. Unlike others, it's on the wrong picks. Yeah, man. I do my best. When I first started doing this, I've been doing this for me and my business partner combined. Have been doing this for almost 9 years now. But I've been doing this full time for almost 4 years going on. This is my 4th season in football. So I will tell you that ever since I started doing this content, I said, I'm not going to bullshit you guys. If I'm going to lose, if I'm losing, I'm going to tell you I'm losing. If I'm winning, I'm going to tell you I'm winning. I don't bullshit you. I show you all my receipts every day. And we have a Discord where people are making money as well. If you log into the Discord, you'll see like people are very happy and, making money and sharing picks and sharing information and stuff like that. So I appreciate you guys. I'm going to show you. I'm not going to show you the slip, but I'll tell you who they are if you want to write these down, because I'm not going to show it. So give me a second. I'll tell you exactly who the two football players are. Let me see. Let me just load up. Give me a second. Let me load it up over here instead. All right. So I have 10 picks that I put into the VIP. I already showed you the how that looks. And then in the Discord, there's another additional like 4 picks. So total was like 14 total picks today. If you guys want to check that out, send me a message. Say, hey, I want the one day pass. I can hook you guys up for $5. So if you guys want to do that, that'll include tomorrow's games too. So for football. All right. Let me go back in here and let me show you. Give me a second. Let me load it up first and then I'll show you. I'm going to be able to show you the slip. All right. So here we go. Let's see. Share this instead. So there it is. It's Dante Moore, 200 plus yards. And then John Matier, I think that's how you pronounce it, 200 yards. And that's going to be a parlay. And that brings it down to about like a 140, minus 140 or something like that. Cool. Yeah, send me a message, man. We could talk about it. We're in the process of starting to teach people. We do have like 1 or 2 people in there now that we're actually training people how to do this stuff. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm still working on it. So if you guys wanted a pass for that, I can do it very cheap because it's not completed yet, but I'm in the process of finishing it up. So let me just show you what that looks like. This is what it is. It's hosted on School. And if you look up Beast Sports Betting Systems, you can see we already have, like you can see here, it says draft. That's because it's not done yet. So even the foundations of sharp betting, that's exactly what I was just talking about. A lot of these are already done. So a lot of these, like I said, mistakes to avoid, things like that. So there's a lot of stuff, how to monitor and access your bankroll, things like that. So there's a lot of information here. And like I said, it's not done yet. So I'm able to give you guys a big discount if you guys are willing to wait, because I'm still working on the videos and stuff like that. So check that out. All right. So appreciate you guys being here on a Saturday. I know it's early. I don't know if I'll be live tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to look at some football. I'm already working on what is this? Let me show you what this looks like. It looks like it's broken. It's actually broken, but it's gonna be hooked up nice. Right now, it looks broken, but it's not, because it doesn't look nice. But this is gonna be some good information. Let me show you what this is. Give me a second. I was not planning on showing this at all, but I'll do it. Let me see what this looks like. Yeah, so let me show you what this looks like. So check this out. So this is basically like the baseball stuff. You can see it tells you where the line started, where it's at, and then it's going to give you the line, all the information, just like baseball. Then it's going to start going down into the team statistics. It'll give you the average points, the total offense, all this stuff, right? And then right here, even the passing profile, the pass completions, the passing yards, all that stuff. And then, like I said, it looks like shit because it's not cleaned up, but the data is good. So this will be looking much better. But right now, I wanted to make sure that it was actually working first. So you can see it's got the rushing yards for Miami. It's got the rushing yards for Buffalo right here. And then there's other information, for example, the conversion efficiency, meaning like, do they convert on third down and fourth down and stuff like that? And then it's going to give you some game insights. Right now, there's no insights for this game, but there's insights for other games, like where it tells you, they've won the last 5 games and stuff like that. And then Miami defense, it gives you all the defense metrics here. And then right now, I'm not sure why it's not showing the other team, but it should say Miami defense, and then on the other side is Buffalo. Now you got the pressure. It's got a bunch of information, and then, like I said, it's going to give you special teams, field goals made. So we actually do have a big edge on field goals. We've been hitting with these for a long time, maybe for like 3 years now. So we also have a very big, strong field goal prop that we do. So today we do actually have one inside the VIP, in the Discord, I should say, and it's a 4-leg parlay. We don't like doing that, but when it's heavily juiced and it's very high hit rates, then we're willing to do a three leg. Like I said, we stay away from a lot of leg parlays, like 10 legs or whatever. Even 4 legs is too much, in my opinion. But when it's hitting at a very high rate and they're very expensive, then it's worth doing, if that makes sense. So anyways, once this is fixed, it's going to look just like the baseball stuff, but it's going to be all football stuff. And I can't show you what this looks like, but there's a lot of information that goes into this, and it just needs to be cleaned up. So it's just taking me extra time because I mentioned I had a computer issue and it's taking a long time. But Sharp is 1 week free. Yeah, go to the sharpedge.bet. And the link is in the description, and then you can get 1 week for free. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe. Check out the free picks. The link is in the description. Let me know if you have any questions. I can answer some stuff here, but otherwise, I'm going to be hopping off. I do have some batter props. The under RBIs have been amazing. Under RBIs have been amazing. Under stolen bases have been amazing. The one hits, they tend to do very good at the beginning of the season because these batters want to get to the All-Star game. But then once the All-Star game starts, or finishes, I should say, then they kind of start declining. So that's when we start looking at the under stolen bases, the under RBIs, and the under 1.5 hits. So I've been also putting up some under 1.5 hits, but they're harder to find. So anyways, there's certain things that we already know, like in certain sports and certain things that we look at, and we throw all that value out to you guys. If you guys want to learn this stuff, make sure you check out the links in the description. All right, guys, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. I haven't been on live for a while, so I'm glad to be back, and let's keep making this money. Thank you.